Good morning, everybody. So, we're about to get started with the commentary session, the early commentary session for Tuesday. Um, we've got two commentators up to date, so let me quickly bring them on. The first one is Prabhaljeet. I'm not sure if I pronounced your name correctly. I always have a bit of a hard time with it. Hey, how's it going?
Okay, it's going great.
Where are
Hello,
you?
everyone.
Where are you calling in from?
I'm yeah, I'm calling in from India, New Delhi, India.
What time is it there now?
It's currently 2 p.m.
Okay, middle
So,
of the day. Time
yeah.
to sleep and look at some of the announcements. It's great. And our second commentator for the day is Anna Sarkova. Hey, Anna.
Hi everyone. Uh, yes, I'm Anna from Banal. I'm lead mobile developer in Tech Software Company. I'm both iOS and Android developer, and I'm really happy to be one of the commenter in today's early commentary session.
Yeah, so throughout the week, we will have two of these sessions every day. One in like one early one and one late one, depending on the time zones, of course. But we've got commentators from all over the world, so we had to find some times that were suitable for everyone. But you can also watch these back later if you want. So what we're going to do is we're basically just going to talk about what happened in the last 12 hours. Obviously, for most of us, last 12 hours we're also sleeping after the big announcements. But yeah, maybe we can start with the keynote. So Anna, what were your highlights from the keynote?
Well, keynote for me was really interesting, and of course, there were too much user features, and there is not so much interesting for me as for developer because I always watch for development features and possibilities. So for me, the most interesting ones was announcement for Swift concurrency and widgets. uh, I'm really fond of widgets. It's really interesting feature for me since it was presented last WWDC, and I already saw what should be presented in today's session. It will be a lot of sessions about different features in iOS, in Swift, and also in widgets. So I think it could blow up anybody's brain to see all these features. And I'm waiting for interesting moments in widgets in Swift UI and so on.
All right, and what about you, Prabhajit? What were your highlights from the keynote?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Anna that there were a lot of features for users, general iOS features, uh, and not much for developers in the main keynote. But Swift concurrency is definitely something I'm really looking forward to. Like, since I'm just a student, I started iOS development just about 1.5 years ago. So uh, uh, I also had a really hard time learning the Grand Central Dispatch, and does the dispatch queue also makes the code very less readable. I'm really interested to see how they'll add Swift concurrency, and if they'll also give us the option of backward deployment. Because I read in Swift forums they've added backward deployment under an issue right now. Right now, it's showing macOS 12 as the minimum requirement. Sorry, Xcode 13 as the requirement for adding Swift concurrency. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. And from the keynote, one other thing I was really shocked to see so late in iOS was live text. It's already in Google Photos, and I use it all the time. So yeah, that's also a really fun feature, which I think people will use a lot. Jordy, I think you're not audible.
Yes, your microphone
Sorry, you're
seems to
right.
be turned off.
Yeah, is it better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So what was interesting about the key to that is that at the end they had like a 20-minute dedicated session about APIs and about developer stuff, which they normally say for the State of the Union. Obviously, that was for the Xcode Cloud announcement as well. Did both of you watch the State of the Union as well?
Well,
Actually,
Xcode Cloud, I'm sorry, Xcode Cloud is really bummed because I think it's really best tool that we need because everyone had problem with building. We need a lot of time because our machines are busy with building and we need our machines to write another code. So own CI/CD with the integration and with ability to use it both in iPhones and iPads and MacBooks will be really cool for us. And I hope it will be not so um, expensive to use this feature because most of CI/CD extended tools are really expensive.
yeah, for me, as an indie developer, I don't really use CI that much. Like, I know about fast lane tools. Most of other people I know are on fast lane tools, but I think an integration into Xcode, and I think this service is like not free; it's a premium service. But I think they'll have a free tier, like for just for one person, and maybe they'll add the premium features to work in teams. So, so as a person who has not used CI tools before, I think I'll definitely look forward to Xcode Cloud. That will be a bit more easier since it will be integrated with the tool we all are familiar with. So, Jody, do you use like
Yeah, I
CI?
think no, I don't at all. So I'm like a pretty beginner novice developer, and stuff like CI, I know the benefits of it, and I've used it in other projects when more like bigger projects with other people, but I've never set it up myself. So I think it'll be really nice. And I saw the four steps that you basically had to do to enable it, and it seemed super easy. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I signed up for the beta for that as well. Did you have a chance to look at some of the API documentation, Anna, of some of the new things that were announced already?
Well, of course, I'm waiting for new things about concurrency, and of course, it's the most expected feature in Swift API for today moment. And of course, I'm waiting for new features in Swift UI. I'm really fond of Swift UI. And I know that there were some struggling problems with Swift UI in implementation in last version, though it was announced as final version. Not final, that means that there should be no development, no improvements, but final to begin productive development. So I'm waiting for new features in CFTUI. Many people waiting for solving a lot of problems, just like problem with navigation links and native mechanism of navigation CFTUI and so on.
Yeah,
Also,
regarding the problems with the navigation link, did you already
yes.
test out if they were fixed in the iOS 15? Because I saw that one of the bugs I had with presenting a sheet which crashes the app on SwiftUI also crashes on iOS 15. So did you have a look already if it fixed it?
No, I haven't looked at it already, but I will look for it in session. So
Mm.
also it was a problem with navigation on back because many developers need navigation back with dynamically navigation, not only with actively markers and so on. So and also I'm waiting for new interesting features in UI Kit. So they announced new UI kit button systems, and think that it should be really maybe some harmful changes for people who are using different systems in their iPhones because they need do some refactoring to support new features, maybe new design. And I hope that it should be not too much harmful refactoring.
Yeah, it's always curious to see how much they change the APIs itself. Prabhajit, did you have a look at some of the documentation to see how the changes were? Like what kind of changes we can see?
I haven't had a chance to look it up that well, but also like looking forward to some changes in Swift UI. Like I hope they add pull to refresh finally, and we definitely need some more sheet modifiers in Swift UI. And
Yeah, so
yeah, as
they added pull to refresh. So pull to refresh is now part of the list API in Swift UI, and it's really easy to do. You just add a refreshable modifier, and then you just get a callback whenever it's done. So yeah, a lot of nice improvements there. Um, Also, last night it was possible to sign up for the first labs of the week. Are you planning to go to see some of the labs?
yeah, I've signed up. I've signed up for the Swift UI lab, and for Swift UI lab mainly I want to. I had some problem adding widgets in an app, so I'll be mainly looking forward to solving that bug in that lab, and
Mhm.
also an
Did you
open
know
R.
is your lab confirmed already? Because they already send out the confirmations for the first day, or is it later in the week?
I uh, actually I've signed up for 11th June, so I
Ah,
think
okay.
I should have to wait for a while.
Yeah.
I just
What about you, Anna? Oh, sorry. Go on.
I was just saying I coincidentally have exams in the same week. Really
Oh,
unfair.
yeah. So you have to plan it a bit more. Yeah, it makes sense because
Yeah.
they're often like late at night. What about you, Anna? Have you looked at some of the labs already? Maybe for the Swift UI issues you were running into.
Well, unfortunately, all the labs and videos are not published yet, but I highlighted all the sessions I would like to go on and to watch all the sessions. So, and hopefully, it will be available on as video. So I could see all the labs and workshops, and I think that all these labs and workshops will be useful for everyone who are interested in Swift UI, for example, or I'm really interested in Swift UI and concurrency, how it will be implemented. Also, core data, work with network. So there is, I think that in this session, all the labs and workshops will be really useful.
Mm.
Also, they would like,
Did you sign up for any of the labs already, or any specific ones you're going to
yes,
sign up for?
yes. I'm going to sign up to several labs, and also I have signed up in meeting with Paul Hudson in
Oh, nice.
community. Yes, in
Yeah,
community
we'll get to some of
WW
the
session.
community events as well, because obviously these commentary sessions are part of the WWDC community. Last night there was a big watch party together in the Gather environment where everyone could like watch the WWDC session together as if you're in the same space and easily network with other people as well. And throughout the week, we'll have a lot of different sessions from indie get together later tonight, which Malin will be talking about a little bit more in the next commentary session as well. But yeah, if you haven't signed up for the WWDC community, definitely have a look there, and you can sign up for mentor sessions to get one-on-ones, like Anna was just discussing, or just meet up with people in the same working on the same technologies as you are. So it should definitely be nice. So go to wwdc.community to check out more about that. Um, yeah, so maybe we can have a look at some of the sessions, and I'll just share my screen to share the schedule for today, and maybe we can just stop by any ones that you think are interesting. Let me just go.
Yes, they have built the monster schedule for the first day of this week. It's really a lot of different sessions, a lot of different topics, and all of them are really interesting. For example, for me, all the sessions about widgets, Swift UI, Swift new things, and etc. are really interesting. I'm not too much interested in audio, graphic, and machine learning because I'm not working with it. But I think that for those who are interested in, it's really useful. And of course, we need to take a look in all the sessions about privacy, because it is a real tendency in today's world and for Apple technology that when they announce new features in privacy, we need to support them in our applications, because there are also several limitations, and sometimes we have to adapt our applications to just to be applicable in Apple review when we publish them, and to be not harmful for our users, but really useful and safe.
Yeah, I don't think I can find anything not to agree with in that statement. Obviously, they put a lot of emphasis on new privacy features, a lot of stuff that's done automatically for you, but also a lot more tools for developers. There were some additions to the App Store guidelines as well about if users can make an account, they also have to delete the account in the app, and a lot more rules regarding like the scams that we saw in the App Store. Um, Prabhalji, what are things that you looking forward to today? What kind of sessions?
I'm also looking forward to, like I said, some sessions about widgets, and I'm also really interested to see the sessions on accessibility. Like, since I started watching the dub, I think gradually there has been an increase in the sessions on accessibility, and they just released major accessibility features on the watch, uh, 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 on the overall watch system. Like, as I think you all must have seen, those are pretty breathtaking features, and I'm just interested to see how they'll top that now. In the If they release that 2 months before dub, what they'll be showing in those sessions. So accessibility is definitely something to look forward to. As throughout the session we've spoken about Swift concurrency. Like, they've announced it. They've shown a bit of code, but there are a lot of questions to be answered, like how it will be implemented, how other APIs will be updated for it to work. So that's pretty interesting. And as it was, as we seeing this in the sessions page, the 3D capture object session also seemed interesting. Personally, I don't have any app where I'm using ARKit, but it looks like definitely something to look forward to. Are you guys working on something with this? Or you think you'll be able to use this?
Anna,
Well,
are
I
you
think that I'm sorry.
no go on? Are you using any 3D stuff?
I think it will be really popular in Russia, because our customers always want something interesting, such as machine learning and doing a lot of stuff automatically, such as such things that will be suggested with the Shazam kit and etc. And could be easily classified with new API. And also, this object capture will be really interesting for most customers, because it will be a really nice feature. I'm in love with it, and it was one of my highlights in this keynote. It could be really easy to use it for many internet shops, online shops, and so on. It will be really cool.
Yeah, I can really imagine all those shops where you can sell your secondhand clothing, for example, where you could just like hang up your clothes, take a 3D capture of it, and then someone else can just see it from all angles. And from what I saw, the API was very simple as well to use. So I remember a few years ago at WWC, we were out for dinner. It's like, oh, it would be so nice if you could just like see all the recipes, all the different menu items on your plate, and that's basically what they were showing, of course, in the keynote. Um, so I'm really curious to see how developers will pick this up for big apps, because some of these things sometimes take a while before they actually get used, you know. But if it's easy enough to make these objects, then it will be really great for like this AR future where we need all these things to be 3D captured. So the easier it is to make and share these things across your apps, I think the better. So what about you, Prabhajit? Are you planning to use it for anything? Maybe a personal project just for fun, or
Yeah, definitely. After reading the documentation, I can try out in a personal project. Currently, I don't have any major app for which I could use that, but I'm also like looking forward to see some improvements in reality kit for Swift Student Challenge this year. For my submission, I tried integrating it, but I went in a different direction. But I've seen amazing submissions using reality kit for Swift playgrounds. Like there was one submission where someone created the whole experience of the Big Bang using reality kit on iPad. So such experiences could be really great with
Yeah.
improvements in reality kit.
So, what's for both of you? What's your plan for this week? How are you approaching the sessions? Are you just going to constantly be watching them? Do you have work that you have to do during the day as well? Maybe let's start with Anna. Are you going to watch a lot of sessions this week?
Yes, I'm going to watch all the sessions this week, but I will be watching just videos, and most of this video will be published at my last late night. So
Hey,
hi, and I'm going to watch it maybe on my mornings, my morning routines when I'm not on work yet. So, and of course, I have a lot of work. So most of the material interesting I will be watching on my weekend. But several videos such as what's new in Swift UI or maybe what's new in concurrency, of course, I will be
Yeah, the
watching
recent
tomorrow
ones.
because I think it's key moments in new iOS, in new Apple development world. So,
Yeah.
and everyone should know that at first sight and in the first time. So I'll be
Yes,
watching
to stay
it
on top of
as
it.
priority.
uh, for me, as I said in the start, I have exams in this same week, but still, I don't think I'll be able to study for cryptography with the adrenaline rush of so many new sessions dropping by. So I think I'll also be watching sessions.
Yeah, and I think also with weeks like this, there's always stuff you can watch, and there's way too much to really all take in at the same time. So what's good is just follow some people on Twitter. I know Paul Hudson is doing some really nice summary of stuff. I saw some really nice improvements to Xcode. You won't be able to see it all, so I think Anna's advice is really nice to just start with the what's new in Swift UI or what's new in X or Y or Z, and then maybe watch a few sessions for stuff you really like. And also, I think it's really important to sign up for the labs because these are the one opportunity every year, besides the two you can do with the developer plan, but to really talk to the developers at Apple who are working on the APIs and the frameworks that you're using. Especially if you have feedback assistant items that you want to talk about or any bug reports that you want to discuss. The thing is that they're limited. There's obviously limited space, so the sooner in the week you plan them, the better. And probably you will get some rejections as well for some of the labs that you won't be able to do. I got quite lucky today that I have 3 labs tonight. So the last one I think is at 1 a.m. So I'm gonna have to stay up a bit late, but it's just nice to be able to go through the feedback assistant items I filed over the last few months, and then just talk to people there, and also just to get advice because it's not necessarily only on technical stuff. It can also be on design, it can be on inclusivity of your app, and just to spar about your ideas of how to solve problems that you're running into. Um, so let's see. I think we're about to wrap it up for this session. Is there anything, Prabhajit, that you're enthusiastic about that you want to share before we end the commentary?
Yeah, I think I'm already told for this session about the major stuff I'm like, really excited about the improvements in Swift UI, concurrency in Swift, and everything. And I'll just like to say that like there are so many events, so many labs. Everyone cannot do everything. Every, there might be there, might be other work that you have to do. So instead of getting overwhelmed with all this and having the fear of missing out, you can like as Jordy said, you can follow some people. Like Paul has created a GitHub repository on his GitHub account called @2straws, where you can check out everything that's new in Swift and through and if And if you have not signed up for more events on the WWDC Community Week, you should sign up. It will get you a pretty organized in a pretty organized way. You'll be able to get most out of this week. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And what about you, Anna? If there's one thing that you would suggest people look out for, I think you already mentioned concurrency in SwiftUI, of course.
Well, I would like to suggest people at first download new Xcode 13 beta, because they needed to taste everything that Apple going to show us this night and all this week. So, and I suggest to watch all the sessions at most, and not to forget to make some samples, and perhaps to make some Git repos with these samples. It will be useful for everyone. Um, for all seniors and juniors, and I think that of course it will be a new step in Apple development using new Swift concurrency, and I hope we will get interesting moments in widgets. uh, Maybe they will be similar as Android, maybe they will be better than Android widgets. So I suggest to watch everything, and not to only watch, but to try it, to do it all by yourself, and maybe to try to make your sample with maybe a part of your project, and but using a new API.
yeah. One thing I forgot to add. There are also some coding challenges from Apple. So on the developer side, you can check out those challenges, and if there are any doubts, people can also drop their questions on Swift forums. The team is really active there, so you might get
Yeah.
responses from the team itself or from the community.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because the digital lounges also just opened up, which is the Slack community that Apple set up, where you can discuss some of
yeah,
the lounges, some of the challenges. I think the challenges for today, there's about 5 every day. So yeah, definitely have a look there. It's like fun little challenge that they create with some sample project that you start from, and then from there you can, yeah, you can just learn and discuss with people and just make it like a fun thing. So yeah, with that, I think we're going to end this first commentary of the week. The next one is going to be in about 11 and a half hours, so it's going to be the same time, but PM and AM every time. And the next one is going to be with um, Sai, Ting Becker, Malin, and Klaas, where we will discuss the first sessions that have been broadcast, because they'll be coming out in about 4 hours or so. So yeah, definitely tune in then as well. And Anna and Papaji, thank you so much. We will be seeing you later in the week as well. So curious to hear your further findings as we progress through the week.
Yes,
thanks,
bye.
Rajiv.
Hope that expectations will be not too far from reality.
Yeah, always the question. Okay, see you soon.
Bye.
Bye everyone.